All right, let's talk about a huge strategic shift that's happening in business right now. It's this move away from just buying software off the shelf, and instead building custom solutions that give you a real, lasting competitive edge.
Let's just kick things off with a big number, shall we? A recent Tech Republic survey found that a whopping 75% of IT leaders believe that custom-built bespoke software leads to better business outcomes. Now, that's not just a minor trend. That is a massive vote of confidence from the folks who live and breathe this stuff every day.
So what does that number tell us? It shows a really deep shift in how businesses are thinking. See, it's no longer just about what you do. It's about how your technology lets you do it in a way nobody else can. So yeah, let's dive in and figure out why market leaders are ditching those generic solutions. Okay, so here's the fundamental problem. You spend years, maybe decades, perfecting your company's unique secret sauce, right? And then generic software comes along and forces you to cram that secret sauce into a generic, one-size-fits-all box. It just creates friction, it slows you down, and worst of all, it waters down the very thing that makes you better than everyone else. And that, of course, brings us to the big money question, the one every CFO wants to know. Is it actually worth the investment? To answer that, we've got to look way, way beyond that initial sticker price.
To really get the full picture, we have to talk about something called total cost of ownership, or TCO. Think of it like an iceberg. The price tag is just the tip you see. TCO is the whole thing, including all those hidden costs lurking underneath, the never-ending licensing fees, the painful integration projects, and all those hours your team wastes on clunky manual workarounds.
And this table just lays it out perfectly. Yeah, look. Custom software has a higher upfront cost. There's no denying it. But then look at that COTS column. That's commercial off the shelf. It's death by 1,000 cuts. The fees never stop. With custom software, you eliminate those forever, and it's built to fit your systems from day one, which is why, in the long run, its TCO is so often much, much lower.
You know, the cost of doing nothing here is just staggering. It's estimated that U.S. firms lose around $280 billion every single year just trying to maintain and work around their old, mismatched software. That's basically a massive hidden tax on being inefficient.
Okay, enough about the costs. Let's flip the coin and talk about the fun part, the return. Firms that actually invest in their own custom applications are reporting an average ROI of 260% within the first year. So they're not just saving money on the back end, they're actively creating incredible new value.
And where does a return like that come from? Well, it's from real-world, tangible results. We're talking about a 20 to 30% average jump in operational efficiency. Now, that is not just a boring number on a spreadsheet. Think about it. That's the power to serve thousands more customers or to launch an entire new product line, all without having to hire more people. That's a game changer.
All right, let's switch gears and get into the tech a little bit. Once the why is settled, the CTO's big concern becomes the what. What do we actually build this thing with? To make this real, let's look at an example, a modern platform that's built for performance, security, and massive scale. For really demanding enterprise-level apps, a platform like modernasp.net is often a top choice. Why? Because it is absolutely relentless about performance. And this is key. Performance isn't just about making a web page feel snappy. It's a strategy that directly impacts your bottom line.
I love this quote from Microsoft's developers. It captures the whole philosophy. Shaving off nanoseconds sounds tiny, right? Who cares about a nanosecond? Well, when you do something trillions of times, those nanoseconds turn into seconds, then minutes, then real dollars saved on your monthly cloud bill because your code is just that much more efficient.
So here, you can see how all that technical stuff translates directly into business value. Raw speed, that means lower hosting costs. Built-in security, less risk for the company. The ability to run on any platform, that means you don't get locked into one expensive vendor. Every single technical decision has a very real business implication.
Okay, so you're sold on the why. You've even got an idea for the technical what. Now comes the final, and maybe the most critical question of all, the how. Who is actually going to build this thing? Do you try to build a whole new team in-house, or do you work with a specialized partner?
Now look, the gut instinct for a lot of leaders is to keep it in-house. This is too important, they think. And I get that. But when you really look at the data, a specialized partner brings some pretty powerful advantages to the table. Speed, elite expertise, and letting your own team stay focused on your core business.
And this chart just says it all, doesn't it? The speed advantage is undeniable. we're talking about accelerating your delivery by up to 37%. That means getting your competitive advantage out into the market months faster than if you tried to do it all yourself from a standstill.
And the impact on the budget is just massive. You get to skip those slow, incredibly expensive recruitment cycles. You tap into focused, expert talent. All of that can lead to reducing your operating costs by a huge margin, somewhere between 15 and 70%. Woo! Okay, we have covered the why, the what, and the how. So let's wrap this all up with something you can actually use. Here is a clear, actionable 3-step plan you can take back to your team, like tomorrow.
First, go on an audit for your process debt. I mean, actually quantify the time and money you're losing every day to bad software. Second, calculate the real TCO of your current tools, all of it. And third, define the single most important business goal this new software has to accomplish. These 3 steps are going to arm you with the data and the clarity you need to champion this conversation.
You know, in the end, this whole thing really boils down to one simple but really profound question. Is your software a strategic asset that you own, something that gives you a unique edge? Or is it just an expensive rental that your competitors can get too? Building custom software is about taking control. It's about turning a core piece of your business from a liability into a permanent, strategic weapon that nobody else can copy.